What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of On the Rocks. I am still pretty pissed off because last week we tried shooting an On the Rocks. As you loyal fans may know, there was no episode last week. We tried filming, but my lovely microphone here decided to crap out on us. So after several attempts, all we have is this crappy footage, which we'll show you right here. Really, Entrepreneurship 101. Focus on the pain. As you can see, that sucked, and we don't want to throw a 10-minute episode of garbage out for you guys. So we're redoing it. Different backdrop this time. We're definitely going to get back to that cool pink Provo brick we found. So let's hop into the show and start answering some questions here. This first question comes from Anthony. Anthony asks, long question, let me summarize it here. I'm looking to build my own online course and one day enter the bootcamp startup world, focus on video marketing. I have experience in instructional design, teaching, course building. What should I focus on when trying to gain students? So I would say the biggest focus should be the pain that video marketers or just videographers may be experiencing. Otherwise, you're gonna blend in like everyone else. I did a quick Google search for video marketing courses. There are hundreds of them online. I don't know about in-person ones, if that's the direction you want to go. Obviously, you have more overhead. You're marketing to just a local audience, not a national or international audience. But just focus on what's gonna make you different. How do you price that? You have to look at what people are pricing. Some are very high, some are very cheap, many are free. So your emphasis really has to, in your marketing efforts, show why your course is going to be better than others. And it's tough if you don't have a big name, if you don't have 1 million plus subscribers, it's going to be really tough for people to look and say, well, why should I give this guy money versus a YouTube celebrity could open up a YouTube optimization or video marketing channel and they'd have customers like that just because of their resume there. So really just focus on what's going to make your course different than everyone else's. Hopefully you've already done the research and you've taken many of these courses and you've identified things that worked well and, more importantly, the things that didn't work well, and that's what you're going to capitalize on. So that's really what I would focus on. For Market Campus, what we focused on was just the fact that colleges weren't teaching what we're teaching. There are online courses who just spit a bunch of information out at you, and there's not really a path that's designed. You don't have a mentor that's working with you one-on-one. So that's really what we're focusing on here at Market Campus. That's the pain point that we're identifying within our target audience. You have to identify what pain are our video marketers experiencing. Man, this sun is bright today. Maybe it's these glasses reflecting and magnifying, but hopefully that helps answer that, Anthony. So now we are going to, let's hop on over to the Twitter. We've got a question from Jessica. Jessica asks, what's the key to getting content to go viral? How do you give it that first good boost? So one thing to clarify, not everything has to go viral. I'm not saying that you're saying this, Jessica, but not everything has to go viral to be successful. I've been a part of a ton of campaigns that weren't viral per se, but they brought in awesome links, some great social shares. They helped boost our organic traffic, which then helped our clients with increasing the bottom line. So as long as you're consistently doing that, you're gonna be very successful. The problem that most people make when they're promoting content is they create their really cool blog post and then they publish it, and then they publish it or they promote it on Twitter, they send it out on their Facebook, on their Google Plus, and then that's it. They stand back and they just wait for it to just pick up and start snowballing. People are going to start sharing it because it's so good, and rarely that will happen. And we see it all the time, but if you really want to give it that extra boost, you're gonna have to go out and actually market your piece. And marketing isn't just posting stuff on social. So many people think that just because they know how to import stuff into a Hootsuite channel or post stuff simultaneously on Facebook and Twitter that they are a marketer. Good marketers know how to connect with people, and they're reaching out at different publications. They're looking at influencers. So look at communities, Google communities, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Reddit, Quora, Yahoo Answers. Look at discussions that are going on around the piece of content that you are around the conversation that your piece of content answers. Sorry, I got my sentences mixed up there. But when you do that, when you get into the groups and you identify who are the people that are going to love and share this graphic or this video, where are they hanging out online? Not everybody is always on Twitter and Facebook and Google+. They're also following people who aren't even related to your industry, but you may notice that a lot of people follow that person on Instagram, so you're also getting in contact with influencers. Also get other people involved. So if Washington Post releases a really cool piece of data on politicians and your company wants to repurpose that into a cool visual, work with Washington Post and whoever the editor or contributor was behind that piece, and tell them that you're creating this and get their input. And they are way more likely to at least tweet it out to their followers, and an editor at Washington Post is going to have a huge following. So yeah, it just comes down to like actual marketing and just connecting with people and making sure that your content provides value. Don't just throw crap together, publish it, and think that you're gonna get likes and shares, because those days are gone. You have to answer a question, make someone laugh, make someone cry. You have to do something that provides value to someone's day, and your chances of going viral are much higher. All right. We've got, we'll do one more question here. This one comes from Jared. Not the Jared from Subway. He hasn't asked yet. We've been waiting for him to tweet, so he hasn't yet. His hands must be tied right now. What are the main differences between in-house versus agency jobs, other than the obvious of multiple clients versus one client? Fantastic question, Jared. So yes, the obvious is many clients versus focusing on one company. Stepping back and looking at some of the more technical stuff, statistically, in-house digital marketers make more money, higher salaries than agency marketers. That is not always the case. There's some agencies that pay very, very well. There are some in-house companies that pay very, very crappy. So you do have to be careful about who you're working for. Typically, the path that people follow is they start an agency and they either move up in the agency because they love the work so much, or they jump ship and go work for an in-house company after they've gained experience. As far as the differences in how your day-to-day operates, yeah, you're focusing on one company, but I think that agencies, if they're not already, are going to continue to face a bigger problem of them staying competitive in a extremely competitive online market. When you have your work being done by an agency, their time is divided among many other different clients, versus if you have your own in-house team, they are focusing on your company all day long. And with how competitive the internet is, you can't afford to just have mediocre digital marketing. So I'm not saying that all agencies are that way. You have to be very particular about the agency, and agencies obviously have a lot of connections that in-house companies don't have. They have resources that in-house companies don't have. But I think the question was specifically working at one. It's interesting. The one pro about working at an agency, and I've just noticed this from going from an agency to in-house, even though I guess I own the in-house company, so I'm an exception. I can't really give an honest opinion. The big difference is you are surrounded by great minds at an agency, people who all day are trying to innovate. They're looking for new ways to, dominate Facebook or increase organic rankings, whereas in-house you're typically kind of left to the news. Often you're the one person doing the digital marketing for the company, and so your creativity kind of suffers a little bit. Not saying that's always the case. There's exceptions on every side for every topic, but that is one thing that I love about agency work, is the innovation is generally way higher. So some people love it. If you love that hustling every day and working on different clients, you never have the same day, agency work is definitely for you. I've heard a lot of in-house marketers, although it is typically less stressful, it usually is a little bit more boring because you're stuck marketing for one company, one way, and you don't really get to exercise that creativity. So hopefully that answers that, Jared. I guess that will close out our episode today. So before we do, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to see more great videos. We've got some more coming. And also, if you have questions for the show, this show lives on questions. So if you don't ask questions, we don't have a show. And then I'm a Shia LaBeouf sitting in a movie theater, and you can just watch me sitting there. That's not very fun. So please send questions. Use the hashtag #AskOnTheRocks on any social network. We're tracking all of them, or right down here in the comment section on YouTube. Ask away, and we will do our best to answer your question. This is another episode on the rocks. I never know how to start. Wait, I'm on the rocks. Okay.